Hi, Jason Knott with CE Pro, and today we're talking about light control, in particular the control of natural light through motorized window treatments. And with me is Scott Stevenson, Director of Product Management Motorization for Hunter Douglas. Hi, Scott.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for joining me today. Let's jump right into it.
Yeah, great.
So motorized window treatments have really evolved from what was 10 years ago, a category that only a handful of integrators were doing, to now it's a staple for almost all integrators. So with everybody doing it, how can an integrator differentiate himself out there in the market?
Oh, that's a great question. I think it's been really interesting to see the evolution of automated shades in the CI space. You think going back a long time ago, the AC motors that were loud sounded like a freight train and very limited in the way of selection and options and stuff. And now it's really transitioned, and to your point, it's become a real staple. But so then how do integrators differentiate themselves? How do they grow that business beyond what they've maybe traditionally been doing? And I think one of the key things is, to date, most of the companies that have been really focused on the CI space as far as window treatments really have been doing nothing more than just basic roller shades and roller screen shades. That's really all that they offer. And it's great for, we sell a ton of roller shades. Don't get me wrong. Roller shades are a key part of any window covering manufacturer's business. But the simple reality is, like, for us, it's still less than 50% by far of everything that we sell, and it's not right for every application. So I think where there's a real opportunity for integrators is to go beyond that basic roller shade and expand into different kinds of styles, and then get a little more comfortable with the design aspect of it. I think about, like, in my bedroom and in our bathrooms, I love my top down, bottom up shades. So these are shades that can both lower from the top or raise up normally like they would from the bottom. But in a bedroom or a bathroom where you're looking for privacy, unless you've got that spot where you've got no houses around you whatsoever, having that ability to just drop the shade down by 2 or 3 feet, nobody outside unless they got a drone is looking in at you, but we've got a great view out from my bedroom window. I can see the mountains and don't have to worry about, hey, if I'm wandering around and they're trying to get ready in the morning, that the folks in the park out back are looking in. Same thing here, like in my office. It's been amazing as everybody's shifted to working from home. Now all of a sudden there's this real key of, how do I make my office environment better? And I've got these really nice, we call them silhouette shades, but they're a horizontal sheer shade that I can tilt. I can have them open to a sheer position where it's just a really soft filtered light coming in, or open it up all the way and get a lot of nice bright light in here. But that ability to really truly control the light, control your privacy, and then step it up from a design standpoint. And I know, some of the really successful dealers in the CI space that we have right now have folks that they've either partnered with or have brought on to their staff that are people who really get the design aspect of it, and that can go to that client and say, hey, let's talk about how this is going to work in your space, and not just what's the right application, the right product, but what's the right fabric, other than just, hey, we can do a 10% screen here. I think anybody can do that for them, but being able to really step it up from a design style fabric standpoint is what's really going to start setting people to be very different.
I'm glad you brought that up, because the design, motorized shades really is kind of that intersection between the custom integration community and the design community. Yep. So it's not just a matter of, I think, the integrator communicating the design elements to his customer, but being really differentiated in this category at the design level will ingratiate you with interior design folks too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We've got, I've seen a number of our dealers where they build good ongoing relationships with the interior design community. And it's really funny. I've seen this so much where there's this perception of the design community that, oh, they sell all these products, and like, especially with Hunter Douglas, who hasn't traditionally, I will freely admit, hasn't traditionally up until really in the last couple of years participated in the CI space very well. But as we were out talking to CI dealers, we'd hear this, oh, well, you guys are sold by all these interior designers. No, interior designers don't sell product for the most part. They specify stuff. They make their money through a payment from their client as design fees, and then they specify products. And so there's this perception of, oh, well, I can't work with a designer. They're going to specify something that I don't want to. Well, no, if you work closely with them, that designer can really be a great partner for you. And you can build this ongoing relationship where they bring you business, you bring them business, and it becomes very mutually beneficial. I think there's been this perception in the industry for a long time that the designers are almost like the enemy, and we just can't treat them that way. We've got to treat them as truly a very valuable partner.
Yeah, and I think window treatments is a great way to create that friendship and that ongoing relationship. All right, let's move on. So designing and installing and specifying window treatments sometimes can be tricky because you're dealing in, let's just say, raw open environments. You're in there doing measurements, and later on the finished product might not be the exact what you were out there measuring initially. So there's really is a skill set to it. Hunter Douglas has an installation service. Tell us a little bit about that and how integrators can get access to that.
Yeah. I think it's been a really key element of our offering for the CI dealers. There's not a single dealer that I've talked to over the last few years that doesn't have a horror story of a measurement that they just got completely wrong, or several measurements that they got completely wrong, and they've got very expensive shades sitting frequently, in the back room of the shop or on their garage floor or something like that, because they can't bring themselves to get rid of them, but they don't know what to do with them because it simply wasn't the right thing for that window at that point. So Hunter Douglas a number of years ago established what we call Hunter Douglas Installation Services, or HDIS. And they're not company employees, so they're contractors to Hunter Douglas. But the way this works is, as a dealer of ours, you have access to this national network of installers who have been vetted by us. Most of them have many, many years of experience doing nothing but window measuring and installation, window treatment measuring and installation day after day after day. That's all they do. So, a typical CI dealer, that's not how they spend most of their time. It's certainly not their area of expertise. And so they get the job here and there. Every 6 weeks or so, they've got to do a measurement, and then they've got to, a little while later, go out and install that product. And when you're not doing something like that on a regular basis, especially as you start getting into some of these tricky situations like you talked about, it becomes a real challenge. And so Hunter Douglas Installation Services has become something that our dealers have really come to rely on, because it just allows them to completely offload the risk element of doing window coverings. I mean, that's, for most CI dealers, they recognize the revenue opportunity. They recognize that it's a growing category. They recognize that they're most likely missing out on opportunity and they're leaving money on the table, but they're just scared of the risk aspect of it because of that. Boy, it can be an expensive mistake. This takes all the risk off of it. You contract through Hunter, even though they are third-party contractors. All of the relationship between the dealer is with Hunter Douglas. So the dealer says, through our dealer portal, says, hey, I need a measurement on this job. They can establish and say, hey, I've got this HDIS installer that I've worked with in the past. I want to go with him. I really like him. And then it gets scheduled. it is actually very inexpensive. And then all of the risk of that is on us. So if something happens where a measurement was wrong, well, guess what? We're going to deal with that. And if we made the shade and it was to the measurement that our HDIS installer measured, we will remake that shade for free. That's on us. If something happens with the installation itself, it rarely does because these guys are real pros, but within the first year of the installation, if there's anything about the installation itself that was wrong, we will send that person back out to fix that at no cost to the dealer. So again, it's just taking all of the risk element of doing window coverings away from the dealer and allowing the dealer to focus on what they do best, which is selling and integrating.
Tell us a little bit about the Hunter Douglas PowerView automation platform.
Okay, yeah, PowerView is our complete automation system for our motorized window shades. Hunter Douglas is very unique in that we truly control everything about the window covering, from, in some cases, literally designing and weaving the fabrics ourselves, all the way up to the motors and the automation systems. So we do all of our own motor development, and we've then created our own automation platform that is both able to be controlled, self-contained. So if you have somebody who that's really all they're really interested in is some automated window shades, they just want to be able to open up their phone, move them by an app, or have them run on a schedule, they can do that without any integration into a third-party system. But of course, then it's also, PowerView is our gateway into the world of the typical CI dealer, whether that be Control4 or Crestron or Savant, and so is able to become a part of that system. So PowerView is both a wireless control system, and then we recently introduced what we call PowerView Plus, which is our low voltage wired control solution as well. So PowerView is sort of our just all-encompassing brand, I guess, if you will, for our complete automated window treatment solution. And then there are different elements, of course, within PowerView, whether it be wired, wireless, and then PowerView is our own app. We have the PowerView Hub, which is then the gateway to things like Amazon voice control devices, Google voice control devices, and then all of the professionally installed home automation systems.